Lagos State. The affected person is a 30-year-old Nigerian lady who returned from the United Kingdom on March 13th. The Ministry of Earth said she is now at a general hospital receiving treatment that's in Lagos State. But countries of the world are doing all they can to prevent a possible spread of this coronavirus. Let's look at what Ghana, a neighboring country, let's look at what it is doing to forestall a possible spread. Let's look at what Nigeria is doing. Take a listen to Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo.
Equivalent of 100 million United States dollars to enhance our coronavirus preparedness and response. That is to fund the expansion of infrastructure, purchase of materials and equipment, and public education. I have, as of yesterday, ordered the suspension of all international travel by public officials, except for critical assignments, which will have to be authorized by the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President. All public officials are to remain within the jurisdiction until further notice. Video conferencing facilities and other technological tools are to be utilized whenever possible for international engagements. I've also instructed further enhancements of the protocols for inbound traffic from already affected countries. Fellow Ghanaians, all of us should as much as possible desist from all foreign travels, except the most critical ones, until there's a grip on the virus.
Nana Akufo-Addo there, the Ghanaian president, talking about what his country is doing. Of course, he's the president of that country. Now, let's just oppose it with the Nigerian language at this time. Listen to Zainab Ahmed, the Nigerian Minister of Finance.
Discuss with him on the matter of the impact of the coronavirus on our economy. Mr. President has formed us into a committee with the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, the Central Bank Governor, the GMD and MPC and myself as members. Our mandate is to, after that we'll also...
So, Nigeria is talking about the impact of coronavirus on our economy, whereas Ghana is talking about how to forestall a possible spread. Ghana and Nigeria are neighboring countries, two different languages at this time. Whilst one is looking at how it can curb the possible spread of this virus in our country, Nigeria, the giant of Africa, maybe because the country is the largest economy on the continent at this time, is talking about how to mitigate the impact of this particular infectious disease on our economy. But let me quickly inform you that Abuja doctors have begun strike as federal government announces new coronavirus case. Now, Lagos State Commissioner for Earth has told Nigerians that the Italian that brought this disease into this country first still remain contagious. So where do we go from here? Top visitors from all this country
to actually bother, and we can't import required materials, and we also cannot export materials that will help us to grow as a nation, then that's a big problem. And that's why the economy, the Minister of Finance, the CBN governor also are meeting to look at that. But what we that's, I would call that a more aggressive way of stopping the virus. What WHO instructed is that there should be intensive checks at the airports, intensive screening. So if we can curb it at the airport, then we reduce the chances of it getting transmitted.
So when you hear the likes of Ajayi Borough giving an account of what transpired at the airport, coupled with the fact that this news case, according to the Lagos State Commissioner for Earth, came through.
What we have on paper may be different from what is happening in real sense of it. On paper, Nigeria has enough test kits, and everyone coming to the country is screened. So I think that's on paper. So, but the moment we keep silent, then you allow people to begin to share all kinds of fiction and suspicion and all that. For example, immediately the government should have talked about what happened, whether they are screening people at the airport or not, so that would dissolve whatever false information might be going around. That's if it's false.
How prepared, as a medical practitioner, how prepared do you think Nigeria is? Now, there is this upsurge in reported cases. Who knows what will happen between now and next week, between now and next month? Are we really prepared for this? And as a medical expert, some persons are saying because of the tropical nature of our environment, this particular disease will not survive and all of that. But one will be taken aback, one will be surprised when you hear Lagos State Commissioner still saying that the Italian that brought the first index case into the country is still contagious, meaning when you come in contact with him, you are likely to contract this disease and all that. How prepared are we?
Well, obviously, from what we have seen from the response of the CDC, the Center of Disease Control, a lot is being done to prevent the disease from coming into the country by ensuring that people are well screened at the airport and ensuring that all the contacts of those that were detected to be positive are being traced. You see, but the challenge, and this is why we must also intensify work on prevention, is because obviously we know that our healthcare systems, especially the primary healthcare systems, are not that solid as you expect, and that's why some people are saying that the low number of cases in Africa may not be unconnected to the fact that we don't have good, excellent primary health care systems that can easily detect positive cases in the community. So we should not get carried away and create theories about weather and all that. It's just best for us to be safe as much as possible, and we should use the opportunity to build our healthcare system so that we can protect ourselves against further outbreaks too.
And you have medical doctors embarking on strike at this time, and some Nigerians who say that, okay, this is the time that medical doctors, actually cashing on to press on their demands and to make some statements, because it appears the only language, industrial language, the government understands is strike.
Well, you must understand that it takes a lot to practice medicine in this country.
But is this the best time to go on strike?
Well, I'm sure they will have their demands, and I'm sure that most likely it is not. It has probably happened before this Ebola crisis, before this COVID-19 crisis. So if they have legitimate reasons for going on strike, NASU is on strike, ASU is on strike. I mean, several bodies are on strike.
But safety first, the hypocritical oath that medical doctors swear to, we'll talk about the protection of lives before any other thing.
But it's someone that is living that can save others. It's someone that is surviving that can save others. So I think there must be a balance to it. And I'm sure that even during strikes, I'm sure there are skeletal services in the hospitals. But it's just that, you see, many times this strike is in the interest of the government, and most times we don't understand it, because you see, if
it's in the interest of the government, that's what Nigerians get to hear.
Because if professionals keep leaving this country because of the state of the healthcare system, and we just have nothing left, so it's even at times better when professionals protest and say, look, let the system work so that we can all benefit.
Why the people die?
Well, I'm sure at least spending when the strike is on, there's alternative. It's just that at that time things may become a little bit difficult for people.
On this issue of coronavirus, the way the federal government, with the verdict that it's not going to, stop us coming from these high-risk countries, you think the government is on track?
Efforts, yes. It might be too strict, stopping people from coming from these countries, because, number one, we just have few cases. And what makes us sure that exactly will be stopping a good number of cases?
So we need to wait as a country till we have, increment in the number.
What we should do is to intensify what WHO has said, that let's control and ensure everyone coming to the country is screened. But one thing we can be sure is that closing entry to immigrants may actually have some severe economic downturn to the society. So I think it's not something we need to rush about.
New case has been detected.
Do everything possible to prevent ourselves from contacting or spreading this virus. I think we won't have much time to explain the things to do, which includes hand washing, protecting yourself when you cough or when you sneeze, avoiding contact with people that may be infected, notifying early and all that. But another thing I want to challenge the Nigerians is that let's take responsibility also for our communities. I mean, I'm happy with what you're doing. I mean, talking about what is happening. I'm sure that some governments, people in the government are listening, and I'm sure that, who knows, maybe the president may even get to hear about this and make sure it. So we need to speak out. We need to advocate for change, and we also need to just hope and also trust God. I believe Nigerians don't trust our government, so we don't trust whatever decision they make. But we also need to understand that making decisions as a government is usually not always easy. So let's also pray that our government does the right thing.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Hello, go ahead. Can hear you. All right, thank you so much for your time on the program this afternoon. You are Steve. Steve says the world is on lockdown, even Ghana that is close by. So why is Nigeria using strong aid? In America, their earth system is already overwhelmed. The airport should be on lockdown. That's the submission of Steve. But as we wrap up this segment, the facts on ground is that another case of the novel coronavirus disease has been confirmed in Lagos State, Nigeria. Dr. Babarinsa, I must say a big thank you to you for coming on Impact Point this afternoon. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a privilege.
Okay, we'll quickly go on a short commercial break. When we'll come back, it will be time for us to look at the crisis rocking the APC. Stay with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Eshigo.
SS1 and SS1 classes for 2020 and 2021 academic session at Adilayo Academy, Wakajaye, Iyano Church Studio. For further inquiries and to download the admission form, please visit the school website at www.adilayoacademy.org or call 08.
Welcome back, everyone. The program is Impact Point on Impact Business Radio, IBR 92.5 FM, Ibadan. On this segment, we want to look at the crisis that is rocking the All Progressives Congress. Just yesterday, a court affirmed the fact that Oshiomhole stands suspended in the APC. Another court affirmed his chairmanship of that political party. And so it was said that Oshiomhole, the suspended national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, conveyed the National Working Committee. And according to report, Victor Gedem, Ajimobi, Abdulkadir, others have arrived APC Secretariat in Abuja for the National Working Committee of the party, for the National Working Committee meeting of that political party. But yesterday, APC governors met President Muhammadu Buhari, and after that meeting with the president, Atiku Bagudu, who is the chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum, briefed State House correspondents. Listen to him. Atiku Bagudu there, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, who is also the governor of Kebbi State. I have an APC chieftain with me in the studio this afternoon. He is Mr. Fatai Adeshokon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for your time on the program. Now, before we go ahead, something happened at the court yesterday, and I want us to listen to what played out yesterday. Yes. Yeah. Yes, alligator, hold on.
Well, you have to appreciate that this is not something I have control over. We have approached the court, and the court has said we should wait, and we have to wait. That's it.
Osita Okechukwu is an APC chieftain. He is not happy with Oshomole.
We unanimously and consensually elected Comrade Adams Oshomola as national chairman of the APC 2 years ago. And since then, going through our scorecard, what he has succeeded in doing is to revive and resurrect the People's Democratic Party, a party that was then almost collapsing. The outcome is that we lost valuable governorship seats in Adamawa, in Bauchi, in Zamfara, in Sokoto State, and these were our strongholds. And we lost valuable seats in other states of the Federation because of the mismanagement of the primaries.
Musa Alechin supports Oshomole.
Response to Osita Okechukwu's claim. Today, all of us across the breadth and length of Nigeria, we came here in solidarity with the national chairman of APC, Comrade Adams Ali Oshomole. And to our greater dismay, this morning, when the first panel started, they said the second panel are the ones having the responsibility with the Adams Oshomole's case. But to our greatest surprisation, they came back to tell us that a date will be communicated.
Well, so we hear that people have said that the president Muhammadu Buhari is abandoning Adams Oshomole. He should have intervened before this time.
It's not true. He's not abandoning Adams Oshomole.
Abubakar Umaru is APC chair in Sako West, Edo State. Oshomole's word. He says Oshomole's suspension was fabricated.
I am the person I am confused.
Analysts have said, unless President Buhari takes urgent steps to save the national chair who led his election victory, then it is perhaps end of the road for Adams in leading.
A report compiled by our Senate correspondent there, Uram Lukodi. But before we go on, there's this, okay, that's a breaking news coming from the Red Chamber there. And of course, Mr. Stephen Oyedele says if European countries like Germany could close its borders, I see no reason why Nigeria could not do so. Prevention is better than cure. Oyedele Stephen, thank you so much. Okay, so Mr. Fatai Adeshokon, one does not even understand what's going on in the APC any longer.
Thank you so much. Nothing is ambiguous about what is happening in APC. The reality is in any political party like ours, there will be contending forces, caucuses and what have you. Let me clear an impression in one of the reports that we have one substantive national chairman of our party in the person of Adams Ali Oshiomhole.
Who is Victor Giadon?
Victor Giadon is Rekwete. He's with the former governor, a cerebral governor, who has actually shown brilliance and courage while as governor of Oyo State. Be it as it may, congratulations to former governor of Oyo State. It tells you more
in
about.
In spite of the court judgment.
No, the court judgment has been vacated.
It's neither here nor there.
To you, what is on ground is an appellate court are so rude that Adams Oshiomhole remains the authentic national chairman of the party. The FCT, people are there conflicting messages. It was State High Court, FCT High Court in Abuja, that the purported judgments obtained by National Vice Chairman, not of the party, Saliu Mustafa, orchestrated by Godwin Obaseki-led fraction of Edo APC, propounded underneath by El-Rufai's, Ibikula Amosun's, the Akeredolus and the Fayemis.
So these are the ones that want Oshiomhole out.
Of course, you can quote me anywhere.
Please come up with their names again.
Is Ibikula Amosun, Senator Ibikula Amosun.
Ibikula Amosun.
Let me mention the arrowhead.
Okay.
Senator Ibikula Amosun co-joined with El-Rufai and Bagudu of recent. The followers in that caucus are Kayode Fayemi, Akeredolu, and the likes.
For what reason?
Because
are they against Oshiomhole?
They wanted Oshiomhole out of that party.
Why?
Because of 2023.
These are governors.
Of course. Fayemi is losing ambition or president ambition comes 2023.
But Fayemi has come out to debunk that rumor.
I'm a politician. You are a journalist.
He wants to be the president.
I'm a politician.
But he's a serving governor.
I'm a politician.
Who's Tinio?
If you ask me now, Adeshoko, what is your ambition? Comes 2023, I'll tell you I'm not even having any ambition. Alas, inside me, I have ambition to even become president of Nigeria.
Does Tinubu, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, does he have an ambition?
It's never a crime for an Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to have an ambition.
And he was talking about the virus, the 2023 virus.
Of course, for them not to have allowed the incumbent president to have spent out his time at least to the third year of his tenure.
So why was he talking about the fact that there's a virus 2020?
Most states, when a sitting that time bringing on board his son-in-law, are we jinx in this country? The same Osita Okechukwu, he doesn't know what
you heard him.
Osita Okechukwu is either he's drunk or over drunk.
Why?
Because you cannot say what you don't know. Osita Okechukwu he's talking about Zamfara. Oshiomhole is not from Zamfara.
Osita Okechukwu, this same man that you are talking about, is a possible candidate for the spokesmanship position of your party.
In what? When? We have Larry Esa Onilu.
He is one of the vocal members of your political party.
I will tell you the antecedents of Osita Okechukwu.
Time may not permit us. Is it right for APC to have a suspended member of the party as the national chairman?
Who is the suspended member of our party?
Is Oshiomhole not suspended?
I'm telling you, it's a matter of law. As at when the purported judgment was actually obtained from the High Court, we have personalities that believe in rule of law. Oshiomhole actually stayed away from the National Secretariat until the appellate court yesterday set it aside at 5 p.m. yesterday in Abuja.
Where is President Muhammadu Buhari in all of this?
You see, Mr. President, in his capacity as the president, is actually interested in doing the right thing at the right time.
But some members of your party believe that the president is not doing enough. He doesn't appear interested in whichever, the pendulum swing in this case.
In political situations like this, a father of the nation or of his party needs to be very conscious.
Until things get spoiled at the end of the day, the end result was that the APC lost Oyo State.
His tenure.
Look at these forces you've talked about.
Yes.
Now, there was